Hello, my amazing people. How are you guys doing today? I'm so glad to be in your midst once again. Okay, so now I'm sure you guys are still following the Ologia Festival that is still happening at the Royal Palace of Ooni of Ife. Okay, and the fallout of it and the things that are coming up. So some of the trendy stories that are coming out of the Ologia Festival, especially the seclusion of the Ooni of Ife, which just ended. Okay, so we have a report on it, and I'm so glad to bring it to your doorstep because I'm sure some of you have watched some of the videos making it around out there, and you've made your deductions as well. Okay, so now the story is that Ooni of Ife has completed the 7 day seclusion. You recall I told you guys before that this 7 day seclusion is actually to herald the proper celebration of the Olojo festival. And don't forget that seclusion is actually is a spiritual thing, a spiritual time, spiritual thing, for him because he uses that opportunity to commune with his gods. I keep telling you guys that you guys know that the Leif has more than 400 gods, and every one of them is very very important. So it's a time for him to have his quiet moment to commune with these gods. Pray for the land, pray for the kingdom. I just generally just usher in the proper celebration of the Olojo festival. Don't forget, this is a yearly ritual, and it comes with so much pomp and pageantry, because this happens to be one of the most important festivals in the entire Yoruba land. So 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 this is what we are hearing, that Ooni of Ife has finished that 7 days seclusion. Usually, when this is done, he comes back to the palace, and people gather. Yeah, family members also gather, and including the Oloris. They are gathered, and it's a time for him to just talk to them. Because he's just coming back from the seclusion. So, in that gathering, we are told that Oni was praising God for how far he has taken him, and his kingdom. Okay, he said there was a time he felt very empty after losing. When I say losing, not like somebody crying. After wife coming and going. That phase. So he made reference to it that there was a time he felt completely empty, and that was because of the fact that the women that he was married to, they come and they go and that kind of stuff. I don't want to go into the details of those things, but I'm sure you guys already know that there was wife number one before. Okay, up till this moment, you guys know the trajectory of the history more than even me, so I won't go into that. Okay, so it is said that Oni, was busy, thanking God, because he said there was a time he was in low spirit, and that was that time that he was alone, that period that he was alone, and he said that people started questioning his capacity as a king. Honestly, it is what it is. Okay, but that after the storm, God turned things around for him, for his own good. Okay. He also said God has removed shame from him by blessing him with more beautiful women. God has done him good by blessing him with more children as well. And he went further to say that God has made him the first Oni in history to be blessed with twins. Wow, I didn't even know this. I'm hearing this for the first time, and it's a worthy thing to be proud of, really. If right from the time of Ududu up till now, uh, none of the Onis have previously had twins, twin babies. It makes this one really spectacular and amazing. So he mentioned that as well. Okay, then he reminded he rounded up that conversation or that speech, if you want to call it that way, by praying for himself again. And he now encouraged everyone, to pray for themselves as well. Okay, so that is the summary of what he was talking about. Okay, so Oni was said to have made the comments when he came out of his made this comment or speech when immediately he came out of the spiritual seclusion. Okay, because this is usually part of the rites expected of him So like I said before, it's a time for him to gather his close family members, the Oloris, and well wishers together, and speak to them. Okay, having just come out of the seclusion. Okay, so this is the usual practice. From the videos circulating in the social media, you see Olori Toby, he made glowing tribute to he made reference to Toby's twins, where he said that he's the first Oni to have been blessed with twin babies. Okay, and you will have expected that this kind of remark, which is also appreciating Olori Toby in one way or the other, that Olori Toby will respond with beaming smile, or just having facial expression that connotes that celebrate what the king was talking about. But on the contrary, why that statement was that speech was going on, Olori Toby was, completely, I don't know, for one reason or the other, she was completely indifferent. From the posture I saw, she was completely indifferent. And people who are now alleging that it's a fallout, is a reaction to what could have happened maybe the previous night or a few days back when I think it's alleged that the Oni spoke to her, maybe reprimanded her over something, and she couldn't kind of, overcome it, to the point that even at that gathering, that special gathering, where she was even referred to, and the only was thanking God that he's the first person that had one. You will have expected Olori Toby's facial expression to corroborate that statement, but we never saw that. Okay, I don't know if I'm the only one that saw that part, but I think you guys, those of you who have watched that video, I'm sure you will have noticed that as well. Because if you go to, some people were even asking that why is it that she was looking that completely detached from that event, okay? Because so it is now alleged that she was trying to shrug off that situation that happened the previous day or so, and maybe she couldn't put herself in that mood to completely forget about it. Okay, so even though that gathering, is actually meant for, it's a royal duty that is customary for them to do, like close friends. But people felt like, some section of people felt like maybe Oni himself could have made that speech much better. Some people are of the opinion that possibly the way he went about that speech, that it come across like embarrassment, sort of, to Olori Naomi. And we're even understanding that Naomi is not taking this lightly, because we expect that the Ooni of Ife could have been more diplomatic in that speech that he made. Even though there's no place where he made reference of Queen Naomi directly. Okay, so but what I want to say here is that people should not forget that, you see, there's what you call the royal duty. Okay, so when it's time for royal duty, people are obliged to come around and perform it, irrespective of whatever difference you must have had the previous day or a few days before that time. It's just a time for royal duty the performance, and people have to just do it. And that is why, if you look at the case of Olori Toby not smiling and not feeling like comfortable, is a reflection of what we are talking about. So when people gather like this for royal duty purpose, don't get it twisted. Don't get it twisted. That is the import of what I'm trying to say right now. So this is what we are hearing, and we felt like, okay, Oni is out of seclusion right now, and the first ever meeting he's having with his immediate family, we felt like, we should bring it to your doorstep so that you know exactly what it is all about. So thank you so much for listening. Thank you for watching. Thank you for liking, and thank you for sharing. So as soon as we have further update on this, hopefully we'll bring it to your doorstep. Thank you once again, and God bless you. Bye bye.